In the previous video, we learned about tissues. Make sure to watch it if you haven't. The link is provided in the description. Today, we are going to be learning about plant tissues. Plant tissues are of two types, meristematic tissue and permanent tissue. We know that the growth of plants occur only in certain specific regions. But why? Meristematic tissues, also known as dividing tissues, are located only in certain parts of the plant. But meristematic tissue is only a common term. It is divided into three broad categories: apical meristem, lateral meristem, and intercalary meristem. Let us look at each of these in detail. Apical meristem. It is located in the tips of roots and stem. But why? That's because apical meristem is responsible for primary growth, that is, increase in the length of plants. Lateral meristem is located in the girth of the plant. They are responsible for secondary growth in plants, that is, increase in girth. Now, what do you mean by increase in girth? It is the horizontal growth of the plants. Intercalary meristem is located in the node or in the base of a leaf. It is responsible for regrowth of leaves. Did you know that cells of meristematic tissues have a dense cytoplasm and they have very thin cellulose walls and a prominent nucleus, but they lack vacuoles? And if you are wondering why they lack vacuoles, think about the actual purpose of vacuoles. Vacuoles are full of cell sap, which makes the cell rigid. And the main function of a vacuole is to store nutrients, which meristematic cells do not require. Now that we have learned about meristematic tissues, let's learn about permanent tissue. Cells formed by the meristematic tissue take up a specific role and lose the ability to divide. They form permanent tissues. The process of taking up a permanent shape, size, and function is called differentiation. Permanent tissues are of two types: simple permanent tissue and complex permanent tissue. Simple permanent tissue is further divided into three types. They are parenchyma, collenchyma, and sclerenchyma. Parenchyma is the most common simple permanent tissue. It has living cells which are unspecialized and have thin cell walls. These cells are usually loosely arranged and have large spaces between them. Parenchyma generally help in storing food. Collenchyma are responsible for the flexibility in plants. It allows the bending of parts like tendrils and stems without breaking. The cells of this tissue are living and elongated and have very little intercellular spaces. Sclerenchyma helps in making the plant hard and stiff. The cells of sclerenchyma are dead and they are long and narrow as the walls are thickened due to lignin. Did you know that the husk of a coconut is made of sclerenchyma tissues? The outermost layer of cells is called the epidermis. The entire surface of a plant has an outer covering of epidermis. It helps to protect the parts of the plant. The epidermal cells form a continuous layer without intercellular spaces. This is because epidermis has a protective role to play. Epidermis has small pores called stomata. The stomata is enclosed by two kidney-shaped guard cells. Stomata is vital for the exchange of gases, and it is also responsible for transpiration in plants. And in some desert plants, epidermis has a thick waxy coating of cutin, which gives it a waterproof quality and helps prevent water loss. Now, complex permanent tissues are made of more than one type of cell. Xylem and phloem are examples of complex permanent tissues. Xylem consists of tracheids, vessels, xylem parenchyma, and xylem fibers. Phloem is made up of sieve cells, sieve tubes, companion cells, phloem fibers, and phloem parenchyma. Other than phloem fibers, the other cells are living. If you found this video useful, make sure to subscribe. I will be posting a new video on animal tissues.